Welcome to the EarthtonesGirl podcast, episode number 27. And this is a special episode today. It is the Vogue Knitting Live recap. Woohoo! Finally. Oh my gosh, it's been such a busy week, and I am so sorry that I did not get this out sooner. There's so much to share. Stay tuned. I wish you could see everything around me. I have to talk about. I've got my notes. So let's get to it. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, my name is Denise, and I am coming to you today from my home in Yonkers, New York, where I live with my husband and 2 children. You can find me on the internet as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I am also on Ravelry. The podcast has an email address, which is earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. And there is also a Ravelry group. I haven't been very active there lately, but I'm hoping to change that soon. Stay tuned. So welcome everybody. Before I get into Vogue Knitting Live, today is Saturday, February 2nd, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you is such an inadequate phrase for most things that I want to say lately, but that's all I have. Thank you so very much for I'm going to be honest, almost overwhelming response to my last podcast episode. The feedback has been incredible. The comments have been joyous and uplifting. They have touched me. They have made me cry. If you've been watching for a while, I say this every episode, so those of you that have been with me for a while, you're like, again, Denise, really? Yes, again, one more time. I promise, one more time. I'm a crier, you guys. I feel things very, very deeply, and it takes me a while sometimes to get my thoughts together, try as much as I can to remove the emotion from a situation and talk. And I was able to do it for my last episode, and I'm very happy with how it all turned out. And even happier, all of that aside, I'm even happier with the way everyone has responded to it. I believe I accomplished my mission in making it clear that this space I have created here, this platform that I have, will only be used to make people feel welcome. There are no judgments here. And I just wanted to say that again. So you are all so welcome. To all of the new followers just in the last month. I can't believe it's also been a month since my last episode. Somebody please tell me what is happening to this year, 2019. You've got, jetpacks on because this year is flying already. Don't understand. It's February 2nd. So yes, it's been a month. Vogue Knitting Live happened. A lot happened in that month. But yeah, you know what? I am here. Let's talk about Vogue Knitting Live, you guys. So thank you again. Again, as I started to say to all of the new viewers, big, huge open arms welcome. I am so, so happy that you are here. Thank you for taking a chance and getting to know me here. There's a lot that I want to share. So let's start sharing. Okay, Vogue Knitting Live. Where do I even begin, you guys? Okay, I did take notes. So I'm going to try to stick with that just to keep myself on track here. Vogue Knitting Live signups usually take place sometime around November-ish. End of October, beginning of November, usually on the heels of Rhinebeck. And at least to the best of my knowledge, is it then? Yeah, I think it is then. Yes, yes, and I do remember, doesn't matter why, but I remember. So, the last couple of years, my friend Carolyn, hi Carolyn if you're watching, Carolyn Bloom, who is Bloom Handmade Studio on Instagram, she and I have been signing up. We get our passes for the market. We've signed up for classes. We book our room at the Marriott Marquis, which is the hotel that hosts Vogue Knitting Live, and we get our room and we are all psyched and ready to go. 2018 signups came and went, And that didn't happen. My parents were in the middle of moving, and I know Carolyn has a lot going on with her business and this business that she's creating and promoting, and she's been very busy with that, and just normal day-to-day life, and so have I. And neither of us signed up. I figured, okay, you know what, I'll get a pass for the market the day of or a couple of days before, and I'll just go shopping and see people, and it'll be great. And by the time I even realized that signups were happening, I went and looked at some of the classes, and most of the ones I was even interested in were sold out. So I thought, okay, you know what, no big deal, no classes this year, we're not going to stay over, we're just going to go and enjoy the market, enjoy people, have a good time, and spend way more money than we should. And all of a sudden, about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or so before the first day, before opening day, which was January 25th, I went on to Vogue Knitting Live's website. Don't know why. I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for my daughter to come out of school one day, and I thought, let me just, what's it gonna hurt if I go and look and see whether there's any classes left? Guess what? It never hurts to check, you guys. 2 classes were still available, and I got into both. And like I said in the last episode, I was beside myself excited. I got to take a class with Susan B. Anderson and Mina Philip. So let's start on Thursday with the class. Dropped the kids off at school. I came home, I putzed around a little bit. I got myself together, I got in the car, and there was no market on Thursday. And I think the reason, like I said, I think the reason I got into the Thursday class is because it was on a Thursday afternoon. Most people are working, dealing with life, so it was just luck that I got in, and I'm so happy that I did. So I made my way downtown. I had everybody in place to pick the children up from school, and everything was organized. I said, okay, you all know your stations. I'm out of here. Got in the car, popped in my new Apple earpods. Those are amazing, by the way, but we'll talk about those later. Does anybody else have those? Do you guys love them? Okay, we'll talk about that later. Popped in my earpods, put in my audiobook, turned on my audiobook, and I was driving downtown. Oh, that peace, that quiet of the car. I adore my children, as I know you all have seen on Instagram, on my Insta stories, but there is something to be said when you are alone and quiet. Oh. So I get downtown, I park my car, found this incredible parking lot about a block and a half from the hotel. Don't know how I found this place. I don't think I've ever driven down this block before, but I did that day, found a parking lot. It was amazing. 20 bucks to park my car. No one pays 20 bucks to park their car in Manhattan, but I did that day. So I was very excited. Left my car, walked down to the Marriott, found my room, and found the room that I was in for the class, and there were a couple of other people sort of milling around by the elevators trying to figure out where they were going, and I found my way there. Oh my gosh, I walked into the room, and I also ran into 2 people, 2 wonderful ladies, Carol, and oh my god, why am I blanking on the other one? I'm sorry, I'll put her name down here, but hi, if you're watching, both of you, hello. It was so lovely to meet you both, and they were friends, or they are friends, of my friend, Paige, who is Paige the Framer, and she is the owner of the Frame and Fiber shop. It's a beautiful yarn shop and framing store in New Jersey. Oh my gosh, what are the chances of running into these 2 amazing women right off the bat? So, we got into class together, we walk in, and you know, we're taking jackets and everything off, and there she is. Queen Bee herself, as she's lovingly referred to at times. I know the grocery girls have called her that many times. There is Susan B. Anderson standing there at the front of the class, writing on the dry erase board or the paper, whatever, and oh my god, fangirl moment. It's one of those moments where you meet one of your heroes and you suddenly become speechless. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do with yourself. You're instantly all sweaty, heart's fluttering. And yeah, she's a knit-lebrity, you guys. She's a knit-lebrity in our world. And there she is. Okay, so now I'm in this room with this woman. That's enough for me. I could have died happy right there. She turns around and says, "Hi, EarthtonesGirl." Yes, I almost fainted. Hi, how are you? I don't even know how I found my voice to speak to her. Oh, and if my voice sounds a little bit edgy or a little croaky right now, I think a lot of us came down with colds and sore throats after Vogue Knitting Live. A friend of mine goes to Comic-Con every year and she calls it con crud, and I think this was yarn crud for a lot of us. Just being in such a tight space with so many people and you're hugging and touching and kissing and helloing and shopping and breathing in each other's air. I think everyone was just a little under the weather, so my voice is now starting to come back. So if I sound croaky, that's what you're hearing. But so anyway, I said, "Hi, how are you?" And I was just so shocked that this woman knew who I was. And we've had brief exchanges on Instagram via private message, but mainly relating to a post or something. And this was either that she'd put up or maybe that I was linked into somehow. But wow, I still didn't think the recognition would be that instant for her, and I was floored. I was completely floored, and honestly, I could have stopped right there. I didn't even have to take the class, didn't have to go through the rest of the weekend. My day, week, month, year, everything was made in that moment. So, and I couldn't even yell or scream in the moment, but it was interesting because everyone else sort of turned around like, who are you? Why are you special? And it's funny, people recognized me, and that was really amazing. I don't think I'm anyone special. I really, really, really don't. I've created this platform to share my love of knitting, my love of making, and it is growing. My following is growing, and people kind of know who I am. Many people know who I am, and I am so touched and flattered and honestly almost startled when people like, "Whoa, wait, whoa, me? You mean me?" When people recognize me. I'm not used to it. I don't think I will ever get used to it, ever, 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 ever. And I am humbled every time someone thanks me for the podcast or tells me how much they enjoy it. I'm humbled, you guys, really. Like, I almost want to do this and say thank you so much. And I think I honestly do, because I've seen myself in pictures with people and I'm kind of like, thank you. So yes, it was an amazing 3 hours. So let's talk about the class itself. Yes, okay, it's Susan B. Anderson. Oh my gosh, wow. She recognizes me, I recognize her, oh my gosh. But the class, you guys, this woman is so smart and so incredibly talented. She's an amazing knitter. I mean, knitter with a capital K knitter. And the things that she taught, I'm thinking, okay, I mainly took that class to meet her. That was my sole motivation. I have done her smooth operator heel before. I've knit that myself. I've put in an afterthought heel on my own, and I'm even signed up for her class on Craftsy, which I think is now referred to as Blueprint. So yes, I'm totally familiar with the techniques, but you know what? There is always something to learn, and I learned two or three incredible, like, game-changing things in the class. I will not go into those here because, again, it was a paid-for class and I'm respecting Susan and her work. But just incredible. Oh my gosh, are there new ways to do heels? Yes, they are, you guys. So this was the class that I took. This is the handout. And I know this is also the pattern that you can buy on Ravelry. So we each got a copy of that. And she's also putting out a new pattern. I believe it's going to be a separate freestanding pattern. I don't know if it's going to be an add-on to this one. So don't hold me to that. You might have to look at her site and take a look at that. But it's going to be called the Ultimate Heel. And that was what we have here. And this is what she taught us in the class. Mind blown. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, this on the back is just a map and schedule of events from the weekend. But I was blown away by this class, you guys, completely blown away. She even showed us, so yes, we had the wonders and magic of this new heel, or just alterations on the heel, and she also taught us a new way to look at the Kitchener stitch. Oops, sorry, just dropped my ball. I'm going to show you the sock that we did here in a second. I'm just trying to unravel the ball here because it got a little tangled. She even showed us a new way to look at and how to do the Kitchener stitch. A lot of people don't like doing the Kitchener stitch. They find it confusing, or just, you know, can't always remember the sequence. And she showed us another way to do it. And again, mind blown, completely blown. It made it so simple, even for me, someone who's Kitchener hundreds of pairs, hundreds of toes and heels of socks. I was still blown away by the simplicity. And it's actually, as someone who teaches from time to time, whether it's demoing things here or just teaching people one-on-one, I am so happy to have this new trick to add to my bag, to my teaching bag. And oh my gosh, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Again, I'm not going to go into that here because I know it is part of her paid for pattern. I know I just said teaching it here. We'll see. I probably won't be able to teach it here, but if people have the pattern and they need help with it or something, maybe I can help you with that or, privately. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. That's not the point. The point is, I'm really excited about putting out this video today, you guys. So I'm going to be a little scattered in my thoughts, even though I have notes going. So just bear with me, please. So yes, here is the sock that I was working on for the class, and I do plan on finishing this. And this is the heel that we did. You guys, look at that. Oh, we cut this heel in, and as you can see, she added this here, is part of this ultimate heel, and it's a way of adding more depth to the heel, and it's just genius. It's so simple and such a simple, easy thing to do, but it made such a difference. This heel fits me better than a glove, if there's such a thing. She also showed us a way, I don't know, let me put it in front of me so you get kind of a darkened background. Can you see the difference in each side of this heel? That side kind of rounds over, and this side has almost a little, like a little ear flap. She also showed us how to do this so that when you're doing the first and last stitch there, it looks even better now. When you're doing when you first start the Kitchener stitch and when you end it, there's a specific way to do it so that you don't get this little flip here, this little ear here on this end. And I purposely did it this way because I wanted to show you, so I left it this way for you to see the difference. Is anyone really going to take your foot out of your shoe and examine it to see if you did it this way? No. But to crazy knitters like myself that get excited about things like that, because those little ear flaps can annoy me at times. I've learned to live with them and I ignore them because, again, the sock is in my shoe, so who really cares? But I love learning things like that. I love it. Love it. So thank you, Susan. If you're watching, your class rocked my sock knitting world so much. And I know I'm going to get questions. This yarn is aptly named Knock Your Socks Off. That is the name of this colorway. I purposely chose it for the class because it seemed very appropriate. And this is by Scrumptious Pearl. That is her yarn with my usual Malabrigo Natural sock for the heel. So here it is, you guys. Amazing. If you ever get a chance to take a class with Susan B. Anderson, it is worth it. It's worth every penny, every minute. Any ounce of trouble that you might take to get to the class, do it. Do it. You will not be disappointed. She is gracious and kind, and her knowledge is just off the chart. So thank you so much, Susan. I loved your class. I love being in your class. Thank you. So that was Thursday, you guys. Oh my gosh, Thursday, amazing. So I was trying to figure out, when I did my Rhinebeck recap, I did voiceover for a lot of it. I might still do some of that, but I'm going to pause really quick and show you some pictures from Thursday, so stay tuned. Another amazing thing that happened on Thursday. Class is over, we're all packed up, everybody's leaving, thank yous, nice to meet yous, all of that, and I walk out and there is Mina. Mina is standing outside the door and there's my friend, and I was so happy to see her, and she says, "Oh, I was waiting for you." Oh my gosh. Does it get any better? Could that day have gotten any better? So it was big hugs, I mean like big bone-crushing hugs, and for those of you that haven't met Mina Philip, hi Mina if you're watching, she's very, very tall, and I am very, very short. So when very, very tall people hug me, I tend to kind of go back like this, and like it's just squish and hug and squish, and I love it. So it was this big bone-crushing hug from Mina, and we chatted for a little bit. It was so wonderful. We didn't get to talk very long because she had to go to a teacher meeting, and this was also her first time teaching at Vogue Knitting Live, and I'm going to get to her class in just a bit. Yes, but so happy to see her. My friend waiting for me. It was just the icing on a perfect day. So yes. So that was Thursday. I came home, and what was really interesting about Vogue Knitting Live the whole weekend this year was not staying over. So usually we get there, it's classes, classes, people, people, shopping, shopping, staying for the night. We go out to dinner, either with a group or just Carolyn and I, but again, it's knitting, 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 talking, 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 knitting, thinking yarn, talking yarn. And then you have another day of it the next day. You get up in the morning, you're up bright and early. You know, you're down for more classes, more shopping, more people meeting, and then in the evening you come home. So it almost feels like you get 2 days. And this time I was coming home every evening, and it was challenging, you guys. It was sort of a repeated re-entry, like you leave and then you come back, and then you leave and then you come back. So you're a knitter, you're the knitter and the student and the podcaster, the maker, and then your mom again and wife. And then you leave and you are knitter, maker again, and then your mom again. Wife again. And it's great, but that re-entry is really, really hard because your mind is still back, or my mind was still back at the Marriott Marquis, but I had to be home getting dinner and finding the pair of socks that are suddenly missing and pulling the toy out that somebody suddenly wants to play with. And my husband asking about a bill. Did we remember to pay? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I did remember to pay. Not we, I. Oh my gosh. But again, all of that said, I wouldn't have done anything differently this weekend or that weekend. It was just amazing. So fast forward, Friday I did not go back. Friday was opening day for the market. If anyone was taking classes, you had access, early access to the market from 5 to 8 on Friday. I did not go back down because my daughter was participating and singing in a talent show at her school, and that was just magic. Such a proud mom moment on so many levels for so many reasons. I was just beaming for her. I really, really was, and cheering her on, and I love to hear her sing. She's really, really good, and yes, it's incredible. So wait, let's digress for 1 minute. There is a challenge going. You know what? I'll do that at the end. Let's talk about that at the end. So then that was Friday. Saturday morning, we got up and decided to take the kids to breakfast. Chris and I, all 4 of us, and had breakfast. We're driving home, and all of a sudden, I don't know why, but I had no plans on going downtown on Saturday at all. And on the way home from the diner, I said, okay, would you mind if I just, scooted downtown for maybe an hour or two? And Chris said, see ya. And the kids are like, we're home with Dad. We're going to have a good time. Bye. No one seemed to mind that I was leaving. Got in my car and made a beeline for the city. Parked in my little reliable parking space again. And I am so glad I did. I can't begin to tell you how happy I am that I made that decision. I felt like that was divine intervention saying, you need to be down there today. You need to get in your car and you need to go right now. Another reason I wasn't going is there was a knitting event that evening, and I didn't really want to be that much away from the family for the day. But I went down there and I got there about 11. The market and everything opened at 10. And oh my gosh, 2 minutes after stepping off the escalator, oh my gosh, Denise, hey, hi, how are you? I watch your podcast. Oh my God. And it was just incredible. It was incredible. It was wonderful. It was meeting people for the first time, and the market was just packed. If you've never been to Vogue Knitting Live, I don't know what it's like in other cities, but in New York City, you are sardines. You are salmon. You are sardines in the can. You are salmon swimming upstream. It is packed. It is a packed event. It is huge, huge crowds. It can be very, I just saw the light. Oh, wait, there, it's coming back a little bit. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon, so the light's going to be changing a little bit soon. So I'm sorry if it dips and gets dark, but if you don't like crowds, it can be overwhelming. It can be extremely overwhelming. Not to go off on a tangent, but I have extreme claustrophobia at times. I suffer from extreme claustrophobia, and I have to breathe deeply a lot and tell myself that the door is there, you're okay, you're safe, you can find your way out of this, it's okay. But I really do have to talk myself into being okay there. And this year I was alone, so I was really kind of feeling it. At least when I've got, in the past when I've been with Carolyn, even though we sort of branch off, we still sort of stay near each other, and she's very tall, so she's sort of my anchor, in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. But she's like, okay, there's a clearing right up ahead, you're gonna be fine, you know, we're almost to the end of the aisle. And I didn't have that this year, so it was very, it was overwhelming. It was hot and it was crowded. But all of that aside, that to me is the only negative for the day. All of that aside, it was wonderful. And one of the first people that I saw was Gigi, and who is Gigi Made It. Her name is Gay Gillespie, and she's Gigi Made It on Instagram. And she was one of the first people that I saw. And in light of the conversation about diversity and everything that's being talked about on Instagram, I really wanted to make sure that I connected with her during that weekend. And like I said, she was one of the first people that I saw that Saturday morning. And what a moment. It was holding each other's hands. It was eye contact. It was talking but without saying anything. It was messages being passed back and forth between the two of us, but with no words. It was wonderful. It was a really, really wonderful, a really powerful moment for me. Thank you so much, Gigi, for that. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And that started the ball rolling for me, the big happy ball rolling. And we talked for a few minutes. We are going to get together, I'm hoping sooner rather than later. Just amazing. It was amazing. And that was the beginning. It was one person after the other. And I saw so many faces. I saw Shamika, who is Mika on Shamika on Instagram. I will put everybody's names here. Just incredible. Seeing all of these people, seeing all of these different faces, connecting with people. And again, there was a lot of things that were sort of unspoken, a lot of things spoken. It was reconnecting with people in light of what's happening right now. I saw my friend Eric, who is EP Lutz on Instagram. I'll have his name, and I will try to my best to put everybody's names here. And I wasn't expecting to see him. I figured he would be there, but again, it's very hard to predict who you're going to see. Unless you've made arrangements to really meet up with people, you're just going to run into people. And I turned a corner and there was Eric, and oh my gosh, it was again, more bone-crushing hugs and holding on to each other and looking each other in the eye like, I feel you, I hear you, I feel you, I'm here to support you. It was wonderful. It was very warm and welcoming. It was great. It was great. And I did some shopping too. I'll talk about the shopping in a second because I've got that here to share with you. And I saw Sandy, who is Sandy by the lakeside, and so many people. Again, I don't have the list in front of me. I did do a bit of a montage, and I'm trying to sort of put that as over put that in as I'm talking so that you can see what's happening, and the people that I met and see the pictures. And a lot of these pictures were on Instagram, or are on Instagram. And so many people say to me, especially, you know, close friends that are on Instagram but not a part of this world. My friend May, my sister, they all say the look of happiness on my face is a whole separate kind of happiness than when I'm doing anything else. My happy face, my fiber happy face, is a very different happy face than any other face I make in my own life. And they're right. When I am around the fiber, the friends, the yarn, the people, I'm with my people. I'm home, and it feels really amazing. It's being among people that speak the same language. And I know that was a different vibe for people this year. I know some people did not feel that way. There was even a case of a person not going because she didn't feel what I'm describing here right now. And I feel badly for her. I really, really do. And badly for anybody else that may have stayed away. And I was going to talk about this at the end. I'm going to be honest, a part of me was nervous to go. I'm not going to lie. Nervous, not because I felt that I would be threatened in any way or uncomfortable in any, physically uncomfortable. There wasn't a physical threat of any kind. Absolutely not. But I was afraid to go, or nervous to go, because I didn't know if I wanted to have the conversations. I didn't know if I wanted to talk about the issues of diversity, the issues of what's happening in our community. I didn't know. And when you're on a platform like this, when you're talking on your podcast, there's the distance feels a little safer. And it's more comfortable. But when you're face to face with somebody, it can put you in the spot. You're in the hot seat, so to speak. And I'm not always good with that. I am very private, as many people have figured out now from watching me. So I was a little nervous. I really, really was. I didn't know what people were going to say. I didn't know, even among the people that I knew, I didn't know how intense their reactions and emotions were going to be. And again, it turned out to be great. It really did. The conversations were warm, they were welcoming, they were encouraging, they were supporting. I felt uplifted when I left there on Saturday. I really did. Did a lot of shopping, and which also took a little bit of the edge off for me, I'm not gonna lie. It was a great day. It really, really was a great day. And then Saturday evening, there was another event that was going on. I'm not sure how much it's being talked about, but there was another gathering of knitters. I'm not trying to be mysterious. I'm just trying to be respectful of the person that was hosting it and putting it all together. And I'm going to take my lead from them. When they're ready to put it out there and talk about it, great. If not, then this is as much as I'm going to talk about it. But there was another event. There were many, many knitters there across all different backgrounds. And we were all brought together, and we talked. And we talked, and we didn't talk. And we laughed, and we ate, and we drank, and we had a great time. It was a gathering of knitters and makers, and in a warm and welcoming place, and we had a great time. We really, really did. We were tired. I'm not gonna lie, I was exhausted, but it was a good exhaustion. It's like the exhaustion at the end of a hard day's work, where you feel really good about what you produced and what you accomplished. It was great. It was really, really great. So I am so happy for Saturday. I'm so happy that I listened to my heart and went down there. And many of you commented on my mantra of do one thing a day that scares you. That was my thing that day. I did it. It was awesome. It was awesome. One thing a day that scares you, you guys. Half the time it's your head getting in the way, and it's really not as bad as you think. So I did it, loved it, there we go. So now that takes us to, so I come home and I can feel the voice already starting to go. The voice is starting to go, you guys. I'm tired, but again, it's a good tired. And Sunday, I had planned to get downtown early and do some more of shopping at the market and stuff. And I did the bulk of my shopping on Saturday morning, but I had planned on shopping Sunday morning. And for some reason, I took my kids to swimming in the morning. I was very much in mommy mode. There was stuff to do here at home, and I just didn't get downtown as early as I would have liked. I didn't get down there till about 1. I was hoping to have met up with a few more people. It just didn't happen, and that's okay. I did get back to the market and picked up 1 or 2 more things that I'm grateful were still there. So that was really, really good. And so I got there at 1 and my class was at 2. So it was really run-in. I actually saw a fellow knitter, Ashvi. Hi, Ashvi, if you're watching. And she looked at me coming down a hallway and she says, "You look determined." And I said, "Yes, I am. Hi, I'm so happy to see you. I'll talk to you later. Bye." She nailed it. I was very determined. Get to the market, get these items, get to class. I did not want to be late for Mina's class. And I made it. And like I said earlier, this was Mina's first time teaching. She's the Knitting Expat on Instagram. And I will have a link to her down below. And she's an incredible knitter. Again, another knitter with a capital K. And that's actually an L, but you know what I mean. And another incredible knitter, incredible designer. Her sock designs are amazing. I know she has a new collection that just came out, and wow, the light really is fading. And I got to take her class, and her class was it was how to knit the modified heel flap and German short row heel. And we had handouts for her class. Here were her handouts. And basically we also worked with her, one of her sock patterns. It's the Mina's sock formula. And I think this pattern is available for purchase on, on Ravelry. So we covered the mini heel flap adjustment and the German short row heel. Now I'm going to pause for a second and insert a video right here because I did my heel. I didn't have another sock. I hadn't gotten my homework done. Shame on me. So I had a sock with me and I actually ripped out the heel. I ripped back. I was maybe a quarter of the way into the foot. I ripped it all back, ripped out the heel, and used that so I was at the right place to do the class. But then once the class was over, I ripped it back out so I could finish the sock. So, which I still haven't finished, but that's for the next episode. And so I just wanted to, I did have presence of mind to take a little video of that. So I will put that in right here for you. Hey you guys. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the sock that I worked on for Mina Philip's class. This was her first time teaching. And I was so honored to be a part of her first experience at Vogue Knitting Live. And she was teaching the mini heel flap adjustment, which is a pattern of hers. And it's basically how to add, if you can see right here, a little mini heel flap before you actually start working on the decreases for the heel. Now, her decreases she does with short rows, and she does them with German short rows. And there is a good example of how that looks. And we did this heel twice in the class. We did it with the stockinette heel, and then we did it with the garter stitch heel. And it's absolutely incredible. I never thought to do, even though I've seen this in her patterns many, many times, I never actually thought to do a garter stitch heel, but it looks so beautiful, as you can see, on a stockinette stitch sock. It just adds a little bit of texture. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. And it was really interesting. One of the issues I've always had with German short rows is how there are little holes when you do, tiny little holes when you do the double stitch. But when you're working that double stitch in garter, it's practically invisible, as you can see on both sides here. So would I absolutely try this again? Yes. And I wanted to do this little quick video because I want to finish. I love this sock so much and I wanted to finish it, but I have to rip this out. because it just wasn't really my plan for this sock. But what I did, unfortunately, I didn't read the instructions properly and didn't have my homework prepared. So I just ripped out the heel that I already had in this sock so that I could practice and put this one in. So I am actually going to rip this out, but I didn't want to rip it out without showing it to you first. So I highly recommend this pattern. This is, again, Mina Philip's mini heel flap adjustment with her German short row heel. And I will, of course, add links to this in the description box down below. So there you go, guys. I'll talk to you in a minute. Amazing class. Did I ever think to put in a garter stitch heel? No. Did I think it might be bumpy under my foot? Yes. Not bumpy at all. It's amazing, and it's a really beautiful contrast in texture when you're working on a vanilla sock. It looks beautiful, just aesthetically, it's really, really beautiful. It sort of breaks up all the stockinette. And it also makes a squishy heel. It's really comfortable. So I will definitely be doing that on a future pair of socks. Can't wait to do that. And the German short row heel, I am so happy now that I understand the double stitch, that I know how to do it. And it's really good when I do plan on, the German short row heel is a general heel. I tend to use the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but that is a paid for pattern and a paid for instructions for that heel, so I couldn't use that in a pattern I designed for myself. But a German short row heel, there's many versions of that out there, so I would be able to use that in my own sock design. So I'm very, very grateful now that I've mastered it and know how to use it, know how to do it. Thank you so much, Mina, for your class. Congratulations. I applaud you. The class was incredible. You blew me away with your skill as a teacher, with your patience, with your calm, with your organization. You were amazing. And there were even 2 people that signed up for the class last minute, which was Krista and Tristan, who are Dragon Horde Yarns and Yarn Cafe Creations. I ran into these 2 incredible ladies, and oh my gosh, it was just so wonderful seeing them. We hadn't seen each other since... actually since Rhinebeck, but more for Needles Up. We'd seen each other at Needles Up, but not since then. So I was so, so happy to reconnect with them and have a conversation with them and talk, which I'm really hoping we get to do more of in the near future. Yes, just amazing, amazing. And can I just talk about that for 1 second? I'm just going to digress for a second. One thing they said to me when they saw me, and I just want to put that out there too, they thanked me so much for talking about their yarn, because their advent calendar, Christmas at Hogwarts, was one of the advent calendars that I spoke about during Vlogmas, and they were so happy to see their yarn out in the world. They both said to me, it's interesting, they get their orders, they dye their yarn, take pictures of it, post their pictures on Instagram and on their website. They send the orders out into the world, and then they don't see them again. They don't necessarily, some people will give feedback. For the most part, they don't get a lot of feedback. So they were really, really happy and thanking me for showing their yarn and talking about their yarn. And I do try very hard to send messages to people when I do get their yarn, or if I'm knitting with it, to thank them for it, thank them for their skill, for their talent, for the beauty of their yarn. It really means a lot to the dyers out there, to the dyers and the makers of this yarn, to just, you know, give them a little feedback. Let them know that you love their product, that you love the yarn. It makes a world of difference in their world. So just a little side note, I just wanted to say that. So loved seeing you both. I hope to see you both again very soon. Mina, again, thank you for an incredible class. It was amazing. It was amazing. So let's talk yarn before I lose the light completely. One thing I did get was I wanted some more Spincycle. I had purchased this gorgeous skein last year at Vogue Knitting Live, and I tried to do a couple different things with it and realized I wasn't really liking it. And then I saw someone wearing the Shift cowl by Andrea Mowry, and I thought, that's it. I have become a real cowl wearer this season. I love shawls. I love the look of a shawl, but I get very frustrated with wrapping it around my neck right and keeping it snug in my coat. shawls are not really my thing, and that's okay to say. I love, love, love cowls, and saw that cowl, the Shift cowl by Andrea Mowry, and wanted to get down there to Stephen B's booth to get some more because I know they sold it. So I bought these two skeins. Aren't these gorgeous, you guys? Oh my gosh, it is Spincycle, and this is the sport weight, and then I had this one, and I'm hoping, I don't know if to do this or to do this or to do this. I don't really know, but I wanted something really colorful but yet still muted, which is another reason why I love this yarn so much. It is so colorful. I love the twist and the plies in there. It has that hand spun look, which I love, and there's a little bit of yellow, the yellow in here, and there's definitely green in here, which you can see right about there. So I thought these three together would be really, really nice. So I'm really excited to make the Shift cowl. So these two were among the first purchases. You know what? Oh, here it is. Sorry guys, I dropped a ball. Another two skeins, and I wasn't planning on buying these, but you know, sometimes yarn talks to you and says, buy me. I want to go home with you. I know you love me. If you just pick me up and touch me, you're going to fall in love with me. Take me home with you. Yarn does talk, you guys. Don't think it doesn't. It talks to you. And this yarn was screaming my name. Screaming. Actually, it wasn't even screaming. It was whispering quietly because I only found one. This is also Spincycle in the worsted weight. But look at that, you guys. Look at how earthy, beautiful, muted tones. Again, you get interesting colors, but without them being too bright. I don't know, for some reason my palette is a little bit more muted this year, and that's fine. I'm sure that will change as the year progresses, but I found one, and I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with one? But I couldn't put it down, and I dug a little bit more because I heard a little bit more whispering going on. I'm here, just keep looking, I'm here. And I found a second one. So this is going to be a really simple cowl. I don't know how I haven't even cast this on yet, but I don't want anything fancy. I just want a really simple, beautiful cowl. And that's all I want. It's big yarn or worsted weight yarn, so bigger needles. This is going to fly off the needles, and I want to wear this right now. So this was the other purchase, and I had missed seeing Lavender Lune. I really wanted to find them. I knew they were going to be there this year, and I missed seeing them at Indie Untangled in October. So I was determined to find this booth, and I did. Look at this. Oh my gosh, Purple Deliciousness. This is actually a new colorway. I'm blanking on the name of this dyer. Completely blanking. Again, her name will be right down here, but I got to meet her, which was really, really amazing too. And she had sent me a skein. It's over here. I think that's it right there. And it was called Thunder Throat Punch or something. It was an incredible... See, hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull it down. Yep, here it is. This is called Throat Punch. Here it is. Look at this. Ha! Isn't this incredible, you guys? I got this. I saw her talking about this one day on Instagram and asked if she had any more of this colorway anywhere. I didn't see it on her website, and she did, and she sent me a skein. And when I mentioned it to her, she remembered me, which was really amazing. And she saw me holding this skein. Oh, I really hope you can see it. I'm sorry about the light. And she said this was her new colorway. It's called Bang Bang. And yeah, this came home with me. Had to have it. Oh, as much as I love stripes, I do just love a beautiful variegated yarn like this. So I can't wait to see how this knits up. I was thinking maybe a sock head hat cowl. Sock head hat cowl, because that's another, it's deep ribbing at the top, deep ribbing at the bottom, and then just delicious plain stockinette. You pull it up, it's nice and squishy. So I'm thinking about making a sock head hat cowl with one of these two skeins. Just love them. So this is the one that I bought. Love it, love it, love it. And this skein jumped out at me also. No idea what I was going to do with it, but again, it's one of these things I would hate to have left it. I had to have it. Look at this, you got, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, it's rainbow without being rainbow. It's dark but bright. It's muted but colorful. Oh my gosh. This is by Mrs. Babs, and I am a huge fan of her yarn. This is Mrs. Babs, this is Babette, and it is, this is saying, yep, Babette, and this is the Yowza DK Yarn. Yowza is the name of the DK weight for Mrs. Babs. It's 100% superwash merino. It is 560 yards, you guys. Wow. This could be a shawl. This could be a hat, a cowl, mittens. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know what it's going to be when it grows up. I may just hold on to it, pet it, stroke it, love it for a while. Just, I don't know. It's so buttery soft. It's amazing. And can we talk about the name? The name of this yarn is batshit crazy. Is that a bad word? That's the most you will ever hear of a naughty word on this podcast, and I'm only saying it because it's the name of a colorway. I'm not saying it to say it. I'll say it one more time. Batshit crazy, you guys. Oh, I said it again. I'm so silly. How could you not leave this? Between the way it looks, the beauty of this, and the name of this colorway, had to have it, had to have it. So here it is. What else do I have to show you? Oh, and while I was in Stephen B's booth, I found this. I have seen a knitting planner. I believe it's either in German or Norwegian. I apologize, I don't remember which language it's in, but it's not in English, and I thought, well, should I maybe buy it and, I don't know, you know, just kind of use the pages because I could kind of figure it out. But then I thought, nah, I really don't think I would use it. But I found this, you guys. Oh my gosh, I got so excited. It is a planner for 2019, and on the inside cover, it says, "In the rhythm of the needles, there is music for the soul." It could not be, that sentiment could not be more true. Knitting is a tonic for so many of us. It is a beautiful, beautiful planner. I am so happy to have this. Starts off with a 1, and there's a calendar. This thing is gorgeous. And I just bought a traveler's notebook. I just bought a traveler's notebook, and I think I'm going to use that for, well, I know I'm going to use that for just personal projects, but for not personal projects, but for personal use, my regular day-to-day planning, my own thoughts and musings. And I did have a tiny little insert that I was going to use for knitting, but I think I'm going to use this. So here is, you get weekly pages, so you can kind of keep track of your progress with the project. And then you have this project page here, and that's at the end of the month. Okay, so here, this is for January. Then you go into 02. And here's February. And that is basically this whole beautiful, beautiful book. There is graph paper. There's a knitting conversion chart here in the back. There are abbreviations. There is graph paper, and then projects that I want to knit, planning pages. It's really, really, it's a really, really beautiful planner. It really is. So I am so excited. I have felt very scattered with my projects so far this year. And I think it's in light of, I just put up yesterday that I'm finally feeling like I'm coming out of something. The conversations lately have been heavy and very draining. They've been tiring, I'm not gonna lie. And I have felt overwhelmed. I have felt tired. I have felt sad. And I said in my Insta story yesterday on February 1st that I'm done. I'm choosing to no longer feel that way. I am choosing to no longer let this mire me. I am still thinking about it and still going to talk about it and still going to help make this a warm space and make Instagram feel safe and talk about things there and here, but not all the time. And it's okay to smile. It's okay to smile again, and I'm doing that, and it feels so good, you guys. It really, really feels amazing. So that said, in light of my return, I feel like, to the world, I bought a planner, but I bought 2. So I will be giving away, one is mine, absolutely mine, and I will be giving away a planner. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on Instagram, so in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. In the next week or so, let me say that. I think that's more realistic. So I will be giving away, and I know people are going to need this soon because I don't want too much of the year to go by, but you can kind of backtrack and fill in. But I will be giving away a planner and a skein of yarn to go with it. So stay tuned for a giveaway. It's time for me to say thank you to everybody that is following me there, new followers here, and I will also do a giveaway, 2 separate ones, one on Instagram, one here. I only have 1 planner to give away, but I will be doing something else special here on the podcast, so stay tuned for that. And I do have one more item to show you. I did also get to visit Shelli Can's booth, and she had some amazing, she did, actually I have a couple more things to show you. She did sort of a pizza theme, classic New York pizza theme. These are stickers for her giveaways and for her keepsakes for this season. And one thing she also had in the booth was yarn by a dyer that I absolutely love and admire. Her name is Havirland, and I got this, you guys. Look at that. This is called Chocolate Chip Canolli. Wasn't looking for it. I have a lot of, her name is Carol. Carol is the name of, behind Havirland, and I have a lot of her yarn, and these are all of the accent, the contrasting colors. Now, in theory, you're supposed to pick one to go along with your ball, your gobstopper, as this is called, of yarn. Let me flip that tag over. And I decided to buy all 3 because I couldn't help myself. So Chocolate Chip Canolli is the name of this colorway. Look at that. More delicious earthiness, you guys. How could I leave it? I couldn't leave it. And let's go over these. This is Pitzel. That's the name of this colorway. I think I'm saying that right. My very Italian husband would be disappointed with me for mispronouncing that. This is Chocolate Chip Sprinkles with all of these little speckles in here, brown speckles. And this one is, quite simply, chocolate. So let's take a look at that again, because it's just, can't wait to cast this on. Isn't it beautiful? And of course she had matching Progress Keeper. Can you see that, guys? It's a cannoli. It is a Chocolate Chip Canolli Progress Keeper. Oh, wait, I know there's a glare on here. Can you see that? Oh, isn't that the cutest thing ever? Can't wait to cast this on. Again, another reason why I need the planner. And I also found this in her booth. It is, wait, I think I'm holding this up right. It is a snitch, you guys. It is a golden snitch. The Harry Potter fan, I think I've got it backwards. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I got it now. Sorry. Here it is. It is a snitch, a golden snitch, and the Harry Potter fan in me had to have this also. I've seen them online, but just for some reason I've never bought one, and saw this one. I think the clasp the lobster claw here may be a little bit too big, so I might switch that out. But, oh my God, isn't that adorable? It's so adorable. And I have yarn right here, up here. That is The Boy Who Lived by Mustache Yarn. So I will be using this with that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, and one last thing. I did also do, oops, sorry, little shake there. I did also do a pre-order with Katrinkles for her Vogue Knitting Live New York City 2019 Keepsakes. And I got this beautiful little fob here. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, if you've not purchased anything from Katrinkles before, her work is just incredible. So, so beautiful. And then she had, let me take these out of the bag because they're so gorgeous. Bear with me one second. So I saw that she had these available. She posted this on Instagram, and I did a pre-order, so I just picked them up at her booth. She had everything labeled. As soon as you walked up to her, she said, "Did you do a pre-order? What's your name?" Boom, she handed it to you. Love that kind of shopping. So here they are. You have a mitten, a heart, there is a sweater, just a circle, a sock, and a star. And they all say Vogue Knitting. God, I'm losing the light. I can barely see. Vogue Knitting Live NYC 2019. They're so darn cute. I love these so, so, so much. They are stitch markers. Thank you so much to Katrinkles for these. Love them. And okay, one more thing. This is not really a lot of shopping compared to a lot of people, so I don't feel guilty about it. It's okay. But one other thing that I saw, not planning to buy, but they're so sweet. Little stitch markers that are sloths. Can you guys see those? I'm sorry that my camera doesn't autofocus. I still haven't gotten to the Apple Store, excuse me, or to Verizon to buy, to get my new phone, but I will at some point. But they are little tiny sloths, a set of 4, and my sister loves sloths. If she could have one as a pet, she would. Loves them with all of her heart. It's her spirit creature, spirit animal. She loves them, and I bought them with her in mind. And then later, I was sitting with Sandy. Sandy, hi, if you're watching. I was sitting with Sandy, and we were talking about knitting, and of course we were talking about knitting, and both of us were knitting together, and that was also so special to have that time to really sit and talk to people and really knit with people. It was wonderful. So Sandy and I got to sit and knit together for a little bit, and she was complaining or sort of lamenting that she's not a very speedy knitter. She said once she gets in a groove, she can get things done, but she's not a very speedy knitter, and she actually wears a little sloth on a necklace, and she's like, you see, I'm a sloth knitter, I'm a slow knitter. And then I remembered that I had these, so these are my little nod to my sister and to Sandy. Whenever I have these on my knitting, I will think of you both. So yeah, you guys, that's my haul. That is it. It is so dark in this room right now. I apologize for that. That was Vogue Knitting Live. I've been putting in some pictures. I'll put a couple more here at the end for you. I had a wonderful time. I hope that many of you that went this year enjoyed it. I hope to see many more of you next year. I tried to connect with a few people and it just didn't happen, and that's okay. It was a very, very busy weekend. Hopefully next year. And there are other fiber events, maybe Rhinebeck, but we will hopefully see each other at some point. I had a great time, and I have a lot of knitting. I haven't been doing a lot of knitting, but I know that I will between now and the next podcast. I've got some projects that I want to cast on, and I do have the book sleeve that I want to share with you all. So stay tuned for the next episode. And again, this month got a little intense, so I didn't put up another episode, but I think after this one we'll be back on track. So stay tuned. I will get another one up for you very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for joining me. Again, 2 little last bits of admin. If you are the new to you make along is still happening. The last day is February 14th, so there are still 12 days left. Please use the hashtag. I will put that here for you. Please use the hashtag on Instagram. We will be picking a winner who will receive a huge prize of multiple gifts from all of the hosts, and then each of the hosts will be picking their favorite and sending out additional prizes to individuals. So please get your projects up. It's not about finishing a project, it's about trying a new technique, something that is new to you. So please, please, please step out of your box, step out of the comfort zone, try something new. You only stand to gain. And Cece, who is Creative Cece on Instagram, she is hosting the Fiberuary challenge, and I will put that down here as well. And it is a month-long challenge with prompts. That is a month-long fiber challenge every day for the month of February, and each day has a prompt, has a theme, and you answer, you play along. So you are using the prompt for your post. So February 1st, I did one. I started yesterday. I have my post to put up today, and I'll put that up while I'm editing and everything and getting this up and running for you. So yesterday's prompt was hi, my name is, which is the perfect way to start and introduce yourself. And today's prompt is when I'm not knitting, I'm ... So stay tuned for my post for that. Go back, and by the time this comes out, probably by the 3rd, by tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing all the editing. So please join that. It is huge this year. There are thousands of people participating, posting. It is a great opportunity for all of us to come together, introduce ourselves to each other, get to know each other in a new way, discover new things about each other. There's new things about me that I've not ever shared before. Not necessarily because I'm hiding them or keeping them a secret, there just hasn't ever been opportunity to share them. So these daily prompts are a guide for you to explore different parts of your making world and your own world and share them with us. So come and join the fun, guys. Fiberuary challenge for the month of February. So that's it. Before we are plunged into complete darkness, I will see you all again very soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining me. I'm so full of joy right now. Thank you to everybody so very much. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.